Welcome to Channeling Jesus 28-day consciousness shift. So today I feel like talking about, well, first of all, what I usually do is I just start to share what is alive in me, and then Jesus takes over. First, I want to just start by calling in Jesus. I call upon Jesus Christ to guide my thoughts, guide my actions, guide my words, and assist those who watch this to elevate into higher states of consciousness so that they be uplifted into higher frequencies so that they can commune with their own divine connection. That is very much what this is about. All of these shifts, they are about correcting something. It's like the ambulance or the police comes to correct something. Very fitting. To correct something so that the energy will flow better. For example, hearing a police siren or an ambulance usually gives the body an association. Oh, what's going on? What's wrong? There was a little bit of that I could sense from the body. And so there is that, those are the things that can be released. We can simply hand it over to the Holy Spirit because we have identified it. That's one energy. Hand it over to the Holy Spirit because you don't want it anymore. Let the Holy Spirit transform that for you. And then your job is to focus on what you want. There is a training of habits that needs to be corrected about how we think and the energy that produces in the body. Sometimes these things are stronger. Sometimes with certain individuals, those pulls to, oh my God, there's something, might be stronger than others. And the way that you can move that needle in the right direction is that you can start to hand it over to the Holy Spirit. That energy within your body. Recognize the truth that you are the only one that is having this idea in your reality. There are many others, but that's none of your business. You are noticing this in your reality. And so it's about your relationship to it that matters to you. Never mind what everyone else is doing. And so once you hand it over, every time you notice it, hand it over, thank you so much. Be grateful that you know that the Holy Spirit transforms it. Sometimes you can pull it into the heart as well. There are many tools and many ways that you can transform. There are many other ways also that you can do. These are some ways that work really well. Gaia says hello. It's such a joy to feel the natural connection and having the communication fed back to you like this. These are the evidence to look out for. When you are in alignment, you will receive some sign, some synchronicity, some event that will trigger and instigate a different feeling that will let you know that there was something special in that. That's why our feelings are so important, because it guides us. The feelings guides us. Our feelings are closer linked to the feminine, to Gaia. So when you feel something from the body, it is communication for you. It's up to you to figure out what it means, because a lot of things that we have been trained is not true. Simply not true. It is true for a certain frequency bandwidth. If you want to stay in that frequency bandwidth, it is true. So you can absolutely argue and go, hey, no, that's not true because of whatever. And that just means that the reason means that you're just justifying staying in the same frequency. That's all what it means. It's not much more complicated than that. If you want to operate in a different frequency, there are different ways to adhere to. And so if you want to operate into this new way of functioning, there are certain ways of behaving that is benefiting that harmonious state. And it is every single thing that we're doing, every single day, that matters. It can seem very mundane, some of these things. But you will see the correlation. You will see the correlation of why these things are so important. Because whenever you focus, the energy that you focus on becomes more. If you go through your entire day, what did you spend your time on? Okay, so I worked from this hour to this hour. Okay. And then go a little bit more with the binoculars. Like, what did you do internally? Did you work consistently, focus for all of these hours? So break it up. Look at it, the details. Yeah, that's right. I was on Facebook for an hour. I totally forgot about the time. And then I was doing this thing, and then I just totally lost it. It's okay to lose it. But so here's the thing. We have trained our bodies to sit in front of a computer when its natural way of functioning is to follow the natural rhythms of life. So we have the human body in sort of an artificial environment with artificial thinking, very logical. And then if it spaces out on Facebook, that's not necessarily something to be angry about, you know, because if you're forcing your body into situations, then that spacing out is just its defense mechanism to not go insane. You know, like, watch those cat videos if you are in that situation, although recognize that that is not a good environment for the feminine to blossom, your body to blossom. Make sure that you use technology in a way that supports your body's natural excitement. Because without that, what's the point of any of this anyway? You know? And we are talking about the masculine and the feminine. A lot of the masculine still operates because of indoctrination, movies, the habitualness of their parents, of people around them, of influence, of TV or whatever. It's enough of excuses about why they're operating how they're operating. But the main thing to get is to first acknowledge where you are operating most predominantly, and then seek to harmonize. And so the masculine has been used, has been in power, and it has been trying to protect the feminine for many eons. And it's finally now in a position where it can let its guard down. Energetically, this is what is being asked. Because all of the things that was hidden, they're coming to the surface. About how things were run and all of that. Why? We had to do the best that we could. We didn't know any better. Still acknowledge what we did, seeing if we can learn more from it. We do learn from the past, but not by repeating it, by taking a different route next time. And so the feminine expression is what is growing on the planet. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean the women are necessarily controlling everything. Like, there are so many misconceptions about all of this. We need to get really clear. The feminine means our bodies and the connection with Gaia. So it's Gaia. We're following Gaia, really. But we're using our bodies and our senses to read. Just the same as an animal. And why we say animals are so... You're like an animal. But that's a good thing, to be like an animal. You can't not be an animal. Because these bodies are animal. They are animalistic. That doesn't mean that they don't know good behavior. That's something completely different. We can still have and be in touch with feeling what's going on and be very centered in how we approach things, but we can still feel it. We don't cut off that. And that's what is being honored now. That is what's being asked of all of us, really, is to harmonize those two. How are we relating to the feminine? But that also doesn't mean that the feminine is always right. Because the feminine also has been through stuff from the past because of the imbalance. And so the feminine, that is what wants to be said, is that so what is the purpose of the masculine? Because we see a lot of frustrated men. Some men are going back to the old, thinking that it was the old way. More control and more like all of this stuff. That's not it, my dears. Listen to Gaia. I've been there, and that does not produce any harmony. Dominance and control of the body does not create any harmony. Dominance and control over the feminine, a partner, does not create any harmony. Any couple knows this. And it even goes for the female part. They also have a masculine part. Most females have actually adapted a lot of male characteristics. So it's important to look at all of these aspects and be really honest. What is this really about inside of me? And how can I balance this properly? And it's not a switch, right? This is something that we have to build. It's like building a muscle. We have to build certain characteristics in order to balance out these two harmonies, these two energies in harmony. And so a lot of the internal, all of the internal gets projected outside. And so what does a healthy feminine look like? And what is the role of a masculine? Healthy feminine has healed and felt through everything that was troubling, you know? And that is the masculine's job. In that process, the masculine's job is to look after and make sure that the body gets the space and the right nutrition and the things for it to go through that purging process. And that does not mean that the men are to just look after the women for them to go through the purging process. No. These two are inside of us. These two energies are inside. And if you have projected your feminine onto your partner, it's time to take that power back and start to look after your own body. You can absolutely ask for things and ask for support. A partnership can be a great support when both see the correct way of balancing out these two energies and they have the same goal. Otherwise, it's going to be tricky. If one has a goal secretly of just getting financial support, many women are there. And so for those women, it's about stepping up and go, yes, okay, how can I make sure that I look at myself as valuable enough, not just for my body, but for my entire being, also my masculine. You know? To start to acknowledge their masculine, but not overly. It's a balance. It's always that fine balance. Use both in harmony, in integrity, in balance. That's what we wanted to share for now. And I hope this was useful for you. And we talk to you again tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening and watching. And I just want to say that I found a new place. This is the same place that I found. Was it yesterday? No, it was the other day. And I've just found a different angle, trying to have some fun with this. So I hope you enjoyed. Any comments in the comment section, always welcome. And I'm looking forward to talking to you again tomorrow.